Hello everyone, Melissa Ullman here, the Creative Chatterbox, and I wanted to bring back an oldie but a goodie. So 3 or 4 years ago, I had created and done a live on my Facebook page to create these borders. And it's a great way to use up any excess papers that you have from any collection, kind of the scraps left over at the end. So I created some new ones to show you guys like what it would look like with the measurements. I had somebody reach out to me on my Facebook page asking for the measurements. It wouldn't let Facebook allow her to play it anymore. So the live video, which unfortunately that's what happens now. So I am just going to put this here for you guys and let you guys create away. So again, this is kind of one of my go-tos whenever I have a project with leftover product. So this one here is using the Deeper in the Woods. It's so perfect, like if you wanted to be hiking or camping, etc. This is using the Sun Soaked. And so it's got more kind of a beachy vacation theme. And then this one here, I have used the Happy Together collection. So those are the 3 there. So I'm gonna slide this out of the way. But I thought I have a bunch of scraps left over and I cut some 1-inch strips. That's all you're gonna need is 1-inch strips from the All American Blast paper pack and collection. So what we're going to do is you are going to want this insert sheet. This insert sheet is going to be the base for us. So what we're going to do is we're just, and again, you can, I just want to just point out to you, this one here is 3 inches, and this one here is 2.5. So you can do any size that you want, or I should say width, just kind of depends. But let's go ahead, let's do a 2.5. So I'm gonna cut just a strip from my insert paper there at 2.5 inches. That's all I'm going to need from this one. So we'll just set that down there. And I have already cut these 1-inch strips. So just cut a few from some scraps that you have left. Grab your scissors and repositionable adhesive is a must for this one. What I'm going to do is I'm just gonna, this bottom few inches, I'm just gonna kind of run some of that repositionable across it. Then I'm going to pick whichever piece of paper I want to start with, and I'm going to put the corner on the corner of the paper. And then I'm going to lift this up at an angle to where the bottom edge of the paper here is along the bottom pointed edge here. Okay, so your top, going to start there, and then your bottom. So if I turn this over, let you see kind of there how it is. So then I'm just gonna take and tear this off. That's it. Now I'm gonna take another piece of paper. Let's see, maybe go red, and I'll just place it on top of it there, tearing it off. So we're just gonna tear right now. Here we've got this white strip. You know, I might choose to do this one here, just for a little bit more color in there. So I have 3 now. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go ahead and run a few more strips of repositionable there on the paper. So I'm doing it on the paper, so on the strip of paper here. And so that way, if we have any overhang from behind these papers, then it's not, we're not ruining this paper with putting adhesive behind it. So now I have 3 at this angle. Now I'm going to go this direction. So I placed it, just kind of tear on the edge there. And I literally, like, you're just gonna rotate between some of, just have to make sure that goes along the edge there. Okay, so we're just gonna pick our papers, and then the back side of this one isn't gonna work. That was some matte, so we'll have to do something different there. So let's do this one. Just go across there. I need to get a little bit more adhesive up here, and then tear it off. Okay, so now I have 3 going that way. So I have 3 this way, 3 that way, and now I am going to go the other direction. So let me just kind of see what I've got happening here. Maybe this red one. So we're just gonna go right here along the edge of the paper, going the other direction. Okay, so we'll do like that. Let's see. I feel like this one might be, you just gotta kind of play around a little bit. A good one. And then we really haven't put any of this blue in here. Now just making sure that you're adding repo as you're going, so your paper has something to stick to. Okay, and the back of this one, oh, that's a cool one. It's got the flags. So I'm gonna go 5 with this one. So actually maybe even 6. We're gonna go closer to the end of that one. So let's do 6, maybe this one here. Oops, I gotta put some more adhesive on there. And, you know, I don't really pay attention if they're directional pieces of paper. I just have some going in all different directions. I feel like that is kind of better all the way around, because then you can use it either vertically or horizontally. So now I'm going to go back going the other direction. So I have 3 this way, 3 this way. I did 5 this way, and now I'll finish it off going up and down or vertical. So let's see. This one here. There we go. And then one more. Let's do this one. We might have to put just a tad bit on the corner of this one. So do we have a little piece? Here we go. Here's a tiny itty bitty little piece that we can go. And we can rub it off. Kind of went overboard on the table there. Let's see, let's go this way. All right, so now I have this covered. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn this over, and I'm going to take my scissors and just on the short ends, just trim off right along that base piece of paper. So you're just going to do that on these short ends here, using your scissors. There we go. And then I'm going to take my trimmer. And instead of having to kind of peel away all these different, I am going to put the edge of my paper, not obviously this, okay, but the edge of my paper, making sure up here on the top and on the bottom, it is along the 1/8, so the next dotted line, and then I'm gonna cut. So what that allows is then I can pick up this strip of paper and have all the excess right there, instead of picking out little individual pieces of paper off of the edge. So we're gonna do the same thing over here. Okay, so along the 1/8 your white piece of paper, and we'll just throw that off to the side. All right, so that is our base. And then all I'm going to do is find a piece of cardstock that coordinates. And you know, this is a fun way as well to maybe use like decal blade. We can use a fun blade. So let's use the decal on this one. So I'm literally just gonna cut off one edge. And then this now should measure 2 1/4 inches because we cut off 1/4 inch by cutting the 1/8 and the 1/8. And so we're still going to cut this piece then at 2 1/2. There we go. And then we will just adhere this to that mat there, like so. So let's go ahead, and I'm going to use regular adhesive on this one just because we've got several layers of paper there. So just place that on there. And like I said, because I don't have any real directional pieces on here, I could either go vertical or horizontal in adding this to my page. So I'm going to just pull out some of the embellishments from this collection and just see, like, this might be too much because of the stripes and everything that's already happening. But, you know, we've got the cute sunglasses. Let's see what else. This actually would be super cute. The bow like this just kind of ties it all together. Let's see. We've got the peace sign, which again, because of the stripes and everything in it, it just might be too much. We do have the hat. I am really feeling, you guys, that this bow would just be a nice addition to it without taking away too much with what we have. This collection also does have stickers, but I just want to keep what I'm adding to this very basic. And we can help differentiate some of kind of the way it kind of blends in by then taking and popping this up on foam squares. So it'll show a little bit of dimension, and we'll have some shadowing on there. So that'll help kind of differentiate there. And I'm gonna kind of angle it just because those strips are also at an angle. So you'll notice I didn't take off the peekaboo pockets from the bottom. I wasn't sure, or I'm sorry, not peekaboo pockets, the foam squares from the bottom. Wasn't sure if they would go beyond the edge. So I'll take those off now. But so that is our border. And again, let me show you these others. There is Happy Together, Lost, Deeper in the Woods, Lost in the Beauty of the Woods. And then there is Sun Soaked. So I hope you guys have enjoyed this video on how to create this very simple border with 1 inch paper strips. Thanks you guys for joining me, and I look forward to creating again with you very soon. Make sure you hit the like, the subscribe, and share me a comment. All right, you guys, love and blessings. Scrap soon.